Live na ta. Isang malusog at mapayapang umaga po sa lahat. Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Ma'am Han. Good morning and welcome to our regional mental health forum with the theme Mental Health Care for All.
Let's make it a reality.
I am Richard Dragon.
I am Hannah Ratanil.
Join us as we tackle and celebrate mental health care.
But before anything else, may we invite you all to please rise for our national anthem to be followed by a prayer.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alap ng puso, sa libig mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiging, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisiil, sa ragat at bundok, sa simula. Sa langit mong bughaw, may dilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisnap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhating pagsinta. Buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na pa may mga apihan mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Dear God, we praise and honor you as the Lord of our lives and the Lord over all the earth and beyond. We pray, O God, for your mercy and forgiveness, especially in times when we forget about you and fail to follow your word. O God, we thank you for coming into our lives and remind us that there is always hope for those who pray and believe. For all that we have, our lives, our work, our families, our neighbors, our co-workers, our friends, and even those against us, for whom we also pray. Thank you. O God, as one family, as one Department of Education, teach us to serve you and your people without counting the cost. Teach us to humble ourselves in the name of public service and serve others above our personal interests. And help us to put our faith in action and see you in everything we do and all those we serve, especially our learners, the heart of Labitad. Guide and lead our learners, teachers, administrators and staff, family, community, and stakeholders to become faithful to our core values of makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, and makabansa, and enable us to contribute to building the nation and the world, and to make us worthy stewards of all your creation. We bring back all the glory and honor to you, O Lord, our God. Amen.
Welcome again to our Regional Mental Health Forum.
We are very happy that you all joined with us this morning in this significant Oplan Kalusugan sa DepEd event. The School Mental Health Program is one of 6 flagship programs of OK sa DepEd, together with the National Drug Education Program, Adolescent Reproductive Health, Water, Sanitation, and Hygiene in Schools or the WINS program, the Medical, Dental, and Nursing Services, and School-Based Feeding Program.
Before we start our program proper, Doctor, allow us to acknowledge our participants or viewers this morning.
Yes, Ma'am Han, and we are greatly participated today by our mental health care advocates and health personnel in the Department of Education Region 10.
Yes, Doc Chard. And we are also immensely participated and joined by our mental health coordinators in SDOs and schools of DepEd 10, as well as our DRMM coordinators in SDOs and school DRMM school coordinators. And of course, we are also reaching the wide number of our school heads, teachers, learners, and even our parents at home.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You are now officially watching the 2021 Regional Mental Health Forum. And of course, we'd like to also to acknowledge, I know we've also been watched and joined by our regional office personnel themselves. Good morning, everyone.
All right, so good morning, everyone. But to officially welcome us all in this important event, let us welcome the Chief of our Education Support Services Division in DepEd Region 10, Mr. Myron Hill D. Talusig. Our virtual applause, please.
Working from home, temporary unemployment, homeschooling of children, and lack of physical contact with other family members, friends, and colleagues. It is important that we look after our mental as well as our physical health. Hello, I am Myron Talosig, lead staff of the Education Support Services Division of DepEd Region 10. I am excited to open this regional mental health forum this morning, and I am fascinated by our speakers who will share to us how important it is to look after our mental health, especially in this time of pandemic. Our main speaker is Dr. Tristan Labitad, Head of Mental Health Psychosocial Services of the Department of Health Northern Mindanao Emergency Operation. He will discuss to us the mental health realities and how to be mentally resilient in times of pandemic. We are also blessed today to have another speaker who will share to us his testimonies on his personal triumph from depression and suicide. He is our very own school nurse assigned at the school's division of Misamis Oriental. May his sharing be an inspiration to us and to all other listeners whom you may invite to join with us today. And we are grateful to be inspired by the message of our regional director, Dr. Arturo Bayocot, and a message of support from Assistant Regional Director, Victor De Gracia. Isn't this exciting? A half day filled of key personalities and key insights to help us navigate through this pandemic. So I encourage everyone to grab your headsets, your favorite snacks and drinks, and look for a quiet place with the right amount of internet connection. Invite your colleagues, your parents, your children if they are around, including your friends. Tell them that it is important that we look after our mental health as well as our physical health as we face the new realities of working from home, temporary unemployment for some, and homeschooling of our children and lack of physical contact with other family members, friends, and colleagues. Tell them that this mental health forum will help them navigate through this pandemic. Mabuhay po kayo, mabuhay po ang ating mga speakers, mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Sir Myron, for the very warm welcome and for giving us a complete and comprehensive overview of the objectives of this morning's event. Thank you, Sir My, for the full support of this activity, and that sets us our goals and objectives this morning.
That's true, Doc Chart. COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on people's mental health. Some groups, including health and other frontline workers, students, people living alone, and those with pre-existing mental health conditions, have been particularly affected. And services for mental, neurological, and substance use disorders have been significantly disrupted. But then again, despite of the challenges we are facing, together we will win.
And now let us hear his heartwarming message of support. Our very own Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor G. De Gracia Jr., says so 5. A big round of virtual applause, please.
Richard and Hannah, mayong buntag kanaton tanan. We thank our Lord God for this day that we are gathered for this virtual engagement. To our guests and our beloved Regional Director, Art Bayokot, my warmest greetings to you and to all our participants nationwide, region-wide, to this Regional Mental Health Forum. With its theme, Mental Health Care for All, let's make it a reality. In this time of pandemic, the issue of mental health is all the more urgent and very important. Nobody is exempted because everybody is confronted in one way or another with challenges or trials in life. I have my own share of that too. I have recently survived a very serious health crisis, and I am grateful to our loving Lord for giving me another lease in life by healing me of my sickness. I still have a mission to fulfill in life. During our trying times, it is important to know that we are not alone. We have our concerned colleagues, our family, and above all, our ever loving Lord God. It is when we feel helpless that we realize that the Lord is lifting us up. We just have to trust and obey Him. After the experience, let us not also forget to be of help to others who are needing our support as the Lord leads us. We are blessed today to hear this also from our speakers. Thank you, ESSD, headed by Chief Myron Talusig, and in particular, our Health and Nutrition Unit, headed by Dr. Myra Yee, our Medical Officer 4, with Dr. Ray Ignacio Kagang, Richard Dragon, and Hannah Lisel Ratonil, for this important and timely forum. Keep up the good work. To everyone, keep safe and optimistic. Though the road ahead may still be bumpy, I am confident that by God's grace, we can still show that surviving can be beautiful. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, ARD, for that very heartwarming message and also for expressing your support for this activity. Indeed, we are really honored and grateful in all your guidance.
Thank you so much, ARD, for that. At this juncture, let us have an inspirational message and his relevant insights to share on mental health care and mental wellness. Let's give it up for our very own innovative and competitive Regional Director of DepEd Region 10, Dr. Arturo Bibayokot, CESO 3. A big round of virtual applause, please. All right, while waiting, let us have some greetings in the field from our viewers in DepEd Region 10 Facebook page. From Christopher Ubanan, good morning everyone watching here from Mount Nebo Integrated School in the division of Valencia City. Good morning, Sir Christopher.
All right, so let's hear from good morning from Ma'am Jesper Tudazo Muring. Good morning. Watching live from Quality Assurance Division, our very own from Regional DepEd 10. All right. Thank you very much for showing your support and for this campaign of mental health care for all. Let's make it a reality,
Let's
right?
make it a reality. Thank you, Sir
Yes.
Jess, for the warm morning greetings. And of course, to the rest of the Regional Office 10 personnel, our division, functional division chiefs, of course, together with our Assistant Regional Director and our Regional Director, Dr. Arturo Bibayokod Cecil 3. RD, good morning. And we also have here Ma'am Mary Jane Serrano. Good morning po from Valencia City Division. Hello there. Good morning, everyone from Valencia City Division.
All right, we also have from JM Aklan. Good morning, everyone. Watching from Sumirap National High School, Division of Tangov City. All right, so good morning, everyone. So, kaway-kaway sa mga audience natin dyan. Thank you for your support.
Yes. And we are also being watched and joined in by our participants from Hingoog City Division, of course. We have Ma'am Aiza Rapista. Good morning. Watching from Bantaawan Integrated School.
Yes, so we already are in 1,000, 1 million, or 1,000 viewers. All right. To be exact, 1,178 viewers, live viewers. All right. So good morning and welcome to our regional mental health forum.
Wow. So in fact, we have now reached 1,228 viewers and counting, still
Wow.
counting. And thank you
Yes.
for that, for being with us. Of course, from Sir Felix, where was that? From Sir Felix Tresfuentes. Good morning, everyone watching from South Dalurong Integrated School, Kitautau 3, from Division of Bukidnon.
All right. So thank you very much to all our live viewers. So please care to share our link, our FB page live. All right. So
And
at
by the way, Ma'am Han,
yes,
please, we would like also to remind the viewers, please don't forget, if you can screenshot and do hashtags and post it on
yes.
Facebook, don't forget our hashtags, mental health care for all, hashtag, let's
Let's
make
make it
it a
a reality.
reality.
All right. So at this point of our program, allow me to introduce to you our speaker. He is a registered nurse and graduate of BS in nursing at Southwestern University, a doctor of medicine graduate of Matias Aznor Memorial College of Medicine, a master in government management at FINMA Education, and a recipient of a Thailand International Development Corporation Agency Scholarship for Master of Science program in epidemiology at Prince of Songkla University, Thailand. He was previously the head of the Research, Epidemiology, Surveillance, and Disaster Response Unit of DOH CHDNM and the previous head of Local Health Systems Development Cluster of the same agency. Currently, he is the head of Non Communicable Diseases Cluster and the head of Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Services Emergency Operations Center of DOH Region 10. Also, he is an associate professor of Liceo de Cagayan University College of Medicine, an active member of the Philippine Society of Public Health Physicians, a consultant of PDEA, National Headquarters Manila. Yet, he is also a regional qualifier to the search for outstanding COVID 19 volunteers in Northern Mindanao. Dear guests and participants, let us welcome Dr. Tristan Jediah Viado Labitad. A virtual applause, please.
Maayong buntag sa tanan. Sound check please.
Maayong
Madunggan ako.
buntag. Yes, Doc TJ, you are clear, loud and clear in our end.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Now, before I start my presentation for this morning, I would like to thank really RD Dr. Arturo Bayukot and ARD Dr. Victor De Gracia Jr. for this very opportunity, and to Dr. Myra Yi, for me being able to speak to you all, and to the technical working group of the Regional Mental Health Forum, Mental Health Care for All. Let's make it a reality. Daghang salamat kaninyo for this invitation. Well, anyway, I am Dr. Labitad. Thank you very much for that very, very humbling introduction. Well, I'd like to start now my presentation, if that would be okay. Okay. This is mental health resiliency in times of pandemic. So first thing, before we push through with this discussion, I would like to ask you, kumusta naman mo, no? If you have somebody with you right now, kumusta siya? Pwede nimo itap ang iyang back karon, uy, kumusta naman ka? No? Sometimes checking your peers or someone beside you would give you an instant feel of energy, no, positive energy. Uy, naaday nang umusta na ako. Now, in this discussion, we will go through, no, we will go through about mental health, depression, suicide, part of suicide, and how should we go about this, no, especially this time, pandemia. Next slide, please. Now, globally, mental health has become a development priority. Before, it's always been a taboo to discuss mental health, to talk about something that has something to do with mental health. No? Buang man na siya, katok man na siya, lo na depressed na pud siya, no? Lo anxious kaayo ko, and all sorts of things like that. No, mental health, this is an integral and essential component of health. Now, the WHO, or the World Health Organization, states that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Now, this is an important implication of this definition, is that mental health is more than just the absence of mental health disorders or disabilities for that matter. Now, mental health, unsa maning mental health? Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities, ako ang kakayanan, can cope with normal stresses of life, paspas ay mong coping, lahi-lahi ta coping mechanism, but dali ra ka makakope with this, no? Can work productively and is able to make contribution to his or her community. Mental health. This is a fundamental, it is a fundamental to our collective and individual ability as humans to think, to emote, to interact. Though we have very limited scope right now, no? Kanang dili kay ta maka face to face, but we were able to interact with each other, earn a living, and enjoy life. Mao na siya basically si mental health. Now, on this basis, the promotion, protection, and restoration of our mental health can be regarded as a vital concern of individuals, communities, and societies throughout the world. Now, in the next slide, now, this is now about depression. Now, in the Philippines, it is 3.3% of the population, or 3,398,652 Filipinos live with depression. Now, mangutan ako, amongst us right now, more than 1,000 viewers and listeners. Can you see hands up virtually kung kinsay feeling depressed, no? Mag-post nito sa Facebook na to, feeling depressed right now. May ana. And suicide mortality, to note, look at the mortality rate of suicide. It's 3.2 per 100,000 population. Now, let me define first what is depression.
Depression, this is a common mental disorder affecting more than how many? 264 million people worldwide sa tibok kalibutan. Now, in the presentation in this slide, you will see kung pila kabuok kadaghan na ang depressed no, sa population sa Philippines. Now, it is characterized by what? Persistent sadness and a lack of interest or pleasure in previously rewarding, enjoyable activities. From what you are usually enjoying, you come to a point wherein anhedonic na ka, wa na kay gana, no? Instead na mahappy ka nga, makita na yung imong crush, dili na ka bation o kalipay. Because there are things going through your mind nga push nimo to become depressed, no? It can also disturb sleep and appetite, tiredness, kakapoy, and poor concentration. These are very common signs, no? Nga, uy, depressed tingali ni siya ay. Now, depression, this is a leading cause of disability around the world and contributes greatly to the global burden of disease. You can see that, no? It contributes greatly of the global burden of disease. The effects of this depression can be long-term or long-lasting or recurrent. Balik-balik, pwede ka, di ka depressed, ugma or unya, depressed na po ka, and can dramatically affect a person's ability to function and live a rewarding life. Now, karon, DepEd, kumusta naman ta? No? Okay pa ba ta? Sa ato ang pagbati karon. Now, the causes of depression include complex interaction between social, interrelated siya, interaction between social, psychological, and biological factors. We don't na aday hapon siya biological factors. Yes, no? Now, life events such as childhood adversity, loss and unemployment, no, may contribute to and may catalyze the development of depression, especially right now, no? In times of pandemic, daghang nagsarado nga mga establishments, daghang nagsarado na nga wad-an og trabaho. So contributory factor ni siya na ngano ma-depress ang sa katao. Psychological and pharmacological treatments exist for moderate and severe depression. But however, in low and middle income countries, treatment and support services for depression are often absent or underdeveloped. An estimated 76 to 85% of people suffering from mental disorders in these countries, like the Philippines, perhaps, they lack access to the treatment they need. However, in our region, or maybe I could speak for the country, for the Philippines, there have been initiatives for our mental health program nga maghatag na free services for all of our clients with mental health and psychosocial needs. No? Dili na siya lisod kaayo, but because of the level of the local government units, available naman kini nga mga services through our municipal health officers, our nurses, and even at the level of our barangay health workers. We provide that services. Next slide. So that was for suicide. Now this time, depression. Now this slide, suicide cases. Now look at the trend. Can you check on the graph? Where is Cagayan de Oro? Taas kaayo og cases reported on suicide. Now every year, 703,000 people take their own life. And there are many people who attempt suicide. Now every suicide is a tragedy that affects family, communities, and entire countries, and has long-lasting effects on the people left behind. If you commit suicide, na ay long-lasting effect sa family nga imong nabiyaan, no? Pwede na effect sa imong mga anak, pwede na effect sa imong wife, and how they will live their lives after that completed suicide. Now, suicide occurs throughout the lifespan and was the fourth leading cause of death among 15 years old to 29 years old globally in 2019. Suicide does not occur in high-income countries, but is a global phenomenon. No? Again, suicide does not just occur. Okay, wala na siya may occur. og pinakalit, no? In high-income countries. But this is a global phenomenon in all regions of the world. In fact, over 77% of global suicide occurred sa low and middle income countries. No, this report was published in 2019. Suicide. This is a serious public health problem. However, suicides are preventable. Preventable siya, no? With timely, evidence-based, and often low-cost interventions. For national responses to be effective, a comprehensive multi-sectoral suicide prevention strategy is needed. Now, I would like to give more emphasis on this. Who are at risk for suicide? Because I believe we have speakers also who will share the experience later as we go on with our session this morning. Well, the link between suicide and mental disorders, well, in particular depression, alcohol use disorders, is well established in high-income countries. Many suicides happen impulsively in moments of crisis with a breakdown in ability to deal with life stresses. Baliko na ko ha, katong na ay mga breakdown on or in the ability to deal with life stresses such as financial problems, relationship breakup, or chronic pain and illness. These are the common things or issues that we see right now sa ato ang Region 10. Makita ni nato sa mga report, gibalita sa radyo, nga usa miambak sa tulay kay gibiyaan og uyab. Na ang papa nagpakamatay kay wa nay ipakaon sa iyang mga anak. And all sorts of things like that. Now, in addition, experiencing conflict, disaster, violence, abuse, or loss, and a sense of isolation. You heard news, right? For those people who are in the isolation or quarantine facilities, nakatong miingon sila nag-commit suicide, So dapat we should be very conscious. We should be very concerned somehow, sa nangahitabo sa ato ang palibot. These are all associated with suicidal behaviors. Suicide rates are also high amongst vulnerable groups who experience discrimination, such as refugees or migrants. Well, wala man tingali ti refugees o migrants pa diri sa Pilipinas as we speak, Mga indigenous people, katong ato silang mga gipang discriminate. Mga LGBT, katong mga lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, nga groups, mo na sila. Unsa pa prisoners, mga piniriso, gi-ostracize na nato ni sila sa society because mga piniriso na ay mahadlok ko kay kuan tulison pa lang kuana and all sorts. By far the strongest risk factor of suicide or for suicide is a previous suicide attempt. Now, you will see. Next slide. Now, what is the impact of COVID-19 on mental health? Increased psychological distress, immediate impact of the virus, mahadlo ko mo gawas kay na ay virus matakdan ko. You become very conscious, sige na kagpang-spray og alcohol. Kung mahimo imong iligo ang alcohol kay paranoid kay ka. Tanang vitamins imo nang laklakon, vitamin A, B, C, D to Z, sus pastilan. Unsa pa imong ginainom? Linwa. Mao ba na sige gitawag diha kanang Chinese product? Pastilan mo inom kag ivermectin kay kuan ma-protektahan ka kuno against COVID and all sorts of that. That will give you an increased psychological stress nga di nakamakahibaw sa imong buhaton. Initially, when the pandemic started, mao na siya mga problema nato nga ginatan-aw. Kung mahimo, double, triple mask. Kung mahimo, mag-double face shield, gani ka, when this started. Consequences of physical isolation, loss of livelihood. Kung JO ka, naka-quarantine ka, wala kay sweldo, kay wa makay trabaho, Mo na siyang ginatan-aw nato nga makahatod. Ay, di na lang ko magpa-quarantine kay o ako'y trabaho ko, i-isolate ko, wa ko'y sweldo. Dili na lang ko mo report nga symptomatic ko kay basin ikalit kong isolate. No, ipa-quarantine hinuon ko kay giubusipon ko, maski allergies ra to, no? And all sorts of things like that. Now, also the impact of this is it reduced the access to mental health treatment. Nga naman, mahadlok naman kamo gawas. You are scared to go out of your house to visit clinics for mental health treatment nimo. Ay, madi na lang tamo gawas, uy, kay na ay COVID, maparanoid na ka. Populations more at risk of distress, kinsa man, mga frontline workers nato, mga gatabag hospital, first responders, older people, adults with pre-existing health conditions katong na comorbidities, and children and adolescents, women, mga hadlok na sila panggawas. Generally, the whole of population, kitang tanan na ay dakong impact ani sa ato ang mental health. Next. Now, this slide, with the new realities right now, no, of working from home, temporary unemployment, homeschooling of children, usa po di siya magkahatag og stressors nato. Why? Because you cannot afford to buy a new laptop for your children. 5 kabuk imong anak dapat tagsag laptop. You don't have internet connection that's stable. Kay nag-pocket wifi ra ka because you cannot afford magpa-connect og wifi connection sa imong bahay. No? These are all the things unsa pan, the lack of physical contact with other family members, even physical contact with friends, peers, colleagues. This has brought it all to our mental health, no? Adapting to the lifestyle changes, such as what? Such as this one, no, as I presented, and managing the fear of contracting the virus, worry about people close to us who are particularly vulnerable and are challenging for all of us. Now, they can be particularly difficult for people with mental health conditions all the more. Kung ikaw na kay mental health condition, you are diagnosed, say for example, you have a bipolar disorder with schizophrenia or whatever diagnosis that you have, all the more, no, makahatag siya og dakong hibog-aton sa impact sa imuhang mental health. Next slide. However, no, with all the things that I presented, fortunately, there are lots of things that we can do to look after our mental health. This is now the brighter side, okay? And to help others who may need some extra support and extra care. Now, look at this one. Look at this slide. Looking after your mental health, you should be informed. Keep yourselves informed. Listen to advice and recommendation from national and local authorities. Look at this. No part of Bida Solusyon. The A there in Bida Solusyon. Aksyon sa wastong informasyon. You should be aware of the things that's happening around you. No? Legit information coming from legit sources of information like the Department of Health. Actually, dapat Department of Health or dapat inyong paminawon. No? In all aspects of health information, legit information come from the Department of Health. Dili ta patakag paminaw sa radyo. Dili ta pa matakag paminaw. No, okay, maminaw og radyo, but these are some commentaries, no? Nga unverified commentaries from these hosts. But dapat maminaw kita sa insakto. Ma-read mo sa social media. Where did you find that? How did you know about that? Ay, nabasahan ako sa Twitter. Gipost maguni siya sa Facebook. No? These are the things nga magkatawat ta nga gikapoy na gitag inform og insakto yet matuo gihapon. So no, dapat legit information source ang atong pagatuuhan. Minimize news feeds. Try to reduce how much you watch, you read, or listen to news that makes you feel anxious. Na if makita nimo 1 million na kabuok patay tungod sa COVID-19 nga ikaw nga kuan kay ka sikag kataranta, sikag kahadlok, dapat you minimize yourself from watching all of this or listening to this news, no? Or reports nga mo madungog because it will only add up to your anxiety. So i-minimize nimo, might as well you watch the TV, news, no? Mga once or twice a week na lang ka magtanaw just to keep you abreast of what's happening around you, current events, no? So usa na siya ang dapat natong pagabuhaton to look after our mental health. Now, have a routine. Keep up with daily routines as far as possible or make new ones. The usual things that you do or pwede nimo i-change ang mga routine nga mga ginabuhat nimo, the usual. Now, get up and go to bed to similar times every day. Keep up with personal hygiene. Dapat hindi makalimot, no? That's what we always say for people or our vaccinees in vaccination posts. Ma'am, sir, mga ligo, gyud mo, ma'am, ha? Kaya ang bakuna, walay bughat, ang bakuna, dapat maligo gyud mo. Kay manimaw, ta kung di ta mga ligo, no? The ligo thing there has nothing to do or has no effect or irrelevant effect sa imuhang post-vaccination. That's what we always educate our vaccinees. Nakaroon pod, keep up with personal hygiene. Maski naka-work from home ta, maligo gud gihapon ta, no? Dili kay mag-atubang tag virtual meeting, pero kuan pa gihapon ta, dili pa ta naka-dress up for the work, no? Eat healthy meals at regular times. Exercise regularly. Allocate time for working and time for resting. And make time for doing things you enjoy. Actually, having a routine and the things that you do, usual things that you do to keep up, no, to keep you boosted. Routinary na siya mga tawag, pero the more you continually do it, no, the more you become positive and have a good or positive outlook in life as you go on, as you see life through this pandemic. Next slide. Social contact is important. Good thing there is now the advent of technology. If your movements are restricted, keep in regular contact with people close to you by telephone or online channels. No, there's Facebook, there's Messenger, there's TikTok. No, daghang mga TikTokers, I believe, ang DepEd. So, mo na siya atong ginabuhat karon para malingaw, no? Taking away our attention to the negative views of the world of this pandemic. Alcohol and drug abuse. Now, some say alcohol kuno makapakalma. No, I always tell my students this. What are the benefits of alcohol? Dok, makapakalma siya, dok, makaboost kuno sa imuhang feeling, no? Maisog kuno ka, dili ka mauwaw, etc. Because I don't really drink. And I'm not an advocate of this. But however, you see, there is this negative impact of alcohol drinking. No, initial feeling ra na siyang elated kay ka, no, taas ka ay high kay ka because of the alcohol. But eventually, this is a depressive substance. No, depressant ting alcohol. So if you're already depressed, then magtagay pagyud ka, all the more ma-depress kag samot, no? You limit the amount of alcohol you drink and don't drink alcohol at all. Don't start drinking alcohol if you have not drunk alcohol before. Kung agyo ka ng insukad, ay gyud siya sugdi. Avoid using alcohol and drugs as a way of dealing with fear, anxiety, boredom, and social isolation. Magtagay na lang ko din sa isolation side kay ako naman isa, no, nag-quarantine man ko. Cheers kasi with yourself alone, no? So ayaw na siya buhata, ha? Screen time. Be aware of how much time you spend in front of the screen every day. No? The whole day sige tag-anag cellphone. The whole day sige tag-screen at tanaw sa TikTok. Sige tag-tanaw og YouTube. Whole day gatanaw tag Netflix, no? So you should be aware of that. Kay you should break the ingon pa nila, you break the break time from spending too much on the screen. Kaya nga naman, this will give also a negative impact to your health sa imong mata. All the more, unsa pa, sa imong mental health. Sige lang kag higda, no? Because you are depressed, sige lang kag higda, sige lang tanaw sa screen. You have not become any more productive for the day. So that's why you should limit your time. Tagaig panahon, I'll only scan or browse Facebook for 10 minutes. After that, back to work. Or you interact with friends. Or whatever the things that you need to do. You go out, grocery shopping, etc. Video games. Uso karon ang ML. What's ML called? Mobile Legends. Daghan karon. For sure, ikaw nga naminaw karon, ga Mobile Legends ka, imong bana all the more, imong boyfriend, no? These are the things that ang mga kabatan-unan karon nga ginabuhat. Now, while video games can be a way of relaxing or to relax, it can be tempting to spend much more time. As I said earlier, you limit your screen time. So as with the video games, kasi kag-ana sa cellphone mo, si kag-ana sa imong phone, no? Tempting, and of course, you should be sure to keep the right balance with offline activities in your daily routine. Social media, usap po ni, no? Tempting ka ni social media, say tagbasa sa Twitter, BBM, let Lenny lead, unsa pa nang mabasa nato din ha, and all sorts, no? Use your social media accounts to promote positive and hopeful stories, which later on, no, there are testimonials, I believe, from our other speakers na maminaw po gyud ko, no? Correct misinformation whether you see it. If you see a wrong information, you can comment, no, politely perhaps. That's what I really do, no? Personally, I correct misinformations when I see one nga sayo. And freely, in all fairness sa ako mga gipang replyan, because you have a polite way of replying also, nindot ra pud ilang take sa imong reply of correcting them or giving them the right information. And even to your stories, to your status, all of your social media accounts, dapat positive lang tanan. Everywhere around us, negative na, no? Might as well let us be instruments of positivity, no? Giving the positive outlook sa kalibutan would help. Kung kita tanan, this more than 1,000 listeners right now, if you post positive views on your social media accounts, maka-brighten up na siya sa days sa basing gabasa, no? Maybe someone is going through something right now. We don't know. So basing ikaw pa ang mamahimong instrument nga makahatag og enlightenment to that someone. Next slide. Help others. If you are able to help or offer support to people in your community who may need it, such as helping them with food shopping, grocery shopping, no? Or sometimes if you have a friend nga na-isolate, you will see in the social media, right? There are some people in the isolation area padadaan sa ilang mga friends o mga pagkaon and all this support that will really help boost your mental health, no? Ay, nagpadala, they really care for me. Oh, nagpadala sila og food. Oh, nagpadala sila toiletries, no? Maka-help na siya boost sa imong mental health nga ikaw pa nga positive or ikaw pa nga symptomatic na sa isolation area, mao gyud na imong gikinahanglan sa karong panahon na. So, support health workers. You take every opportunity online or through your community to thank your country's healthcare workers and all those working to respond to COVID-19. It may sound cliche, paminaw, no? Pero a simple thank you, bitaw, would really give a true meaning of what you really are doing in response to this pandemic, no? Bugat na kaya na siya. Thank you, nurse. Thank you, doc. Thank you, teacher. Thank you, ma'am, sir, and all sorts. Bugat na kaya na siya, which will also give you a push to drive more of what you are currently doing, no? Don't discriminate. Fear is a normal reaction in situations of uncertainty. But sometimes fear is expressed in ways which are hurtful to other people. Remember, timan ini ninyo, be kind. Always be kind. Don't discriminate against people because of your fears of the spread of the COVID-19. Actually, doing kindness, being kind all the time does not only necessarily mean only or limited. I mean, limited only for this pandemic, no? Pandemic man karon, so I should be kind to these people who are positive. In all situations, in all scenarios or aspects of your life, you should always be kind, no? It takes less effort or energy to be kind than to be angry and mad and hurtful, no? full of hurt and feeling, no? Mas daghang kag energy nga may release ana. Might as well be kind. Don't discriminate against people who you think may have the coronavirus. Gikan man na siya ng positive, uy, palayo. No? That's another one hurtful event for that person who experienced or who was positive then. Don't discriminate against health workers. Health workers deserve our respect and gratitude. There was a time, right, when this pandemic started, if you remember, personnel from hospitals, especially NMMC, nurses, doctors, and all staff, were discriminated to ride on the jeepney or even to ride on a taxi. That was reported then. So that was very hurtful, no? Full of hate. Mahadlok tang tanan, but ginusto ko ba to? No? Ginusto ko ba to nga maging nurse, maging doktor, and be able to take care of all the positive for COVID-19 with this virus, this pandemic? No? Would you want that to happen to you? Of course not. No? Again, going back, always be kind. COVID-19 has affected people from many countries. Don't attribute this to any specific groups. Ay, kanamang mga Muslim ang gada og COVID dinhi, oy, kigikan na sila sa Marawi. No, don't do that. Don't say that. No. Again, go back. Always be kind, mga kapamilya, kapuso, kapatid, ug unsa pa, no? Being kind good. Mo na siya, it will bring you a long way, no? In this lifetime. Next slide. And looking after our mental health, if you are a parent, now reminders to all parents, in times of stress, it is common for children to seek more of your attention. Most especially karon makahatag pabatag attention sa atong mga anak. Most of our time, we are outside from our homes, go work, no, gatrabaho, gakayod. Though, most of you also listening right now na atay work from home privilege. So I think that would be the time that you'll spend more time with your children while working. What can you do? Maintain familiar routines as much as possible or create new ones, especially if you must stay at home. Discuss the new coronavirus to your children in an honest way. Use age-appropriate language. And you support your children with home learning. Karon, most especially sa mga kabatan-unan, they have this learning, we're homeschooling na ni silang tanan karon, no? Nang uban modular na lang sila. So help children find positive ways to express feelings such as fear and sadness. You talk to your children. Ako, I don't have a anak, no? Okay, anak, but I have nephew who's 11 years old. So I usually talk to him every time I arrive home from a busy work, no? Outside the field and in the office. So I always take time to talk, kumusta naman ka? How are you? The school, gaunsa ka sa school, etc. So checking on your children will bring morale to them, no? Ay, gicheck ko ni mama, nangusta si papa nako, no? Sometimes engaging in creative activity such as playing or drawing can help you with your process. Why? It promotes bonding with your children. And even ikaw po, no, with so much stress at work, mo abot ka sa house ni mo, you get to bond with your children, play with Scrabble. Actually, I bought Scrabble, the Scrabble thing ba, no, sa National Bookstore. I bought Scrabble for my nephew. Then mag-Scrabble me sometimes, and we have badminton rackets, so ga-badminton me sometimes. So, despite sa kabisi sa work, you should always find time for your children. Next slide. If you are a parent, listen to this. Help children stay in contact with friends and family members. So, you let them contact, no, mag-chat sila. And also, you should be careful, while your children are busy doing their online thing, you should be aware also that there are precautions, no? Limitations for your children kung lang sila tama nusod nga mga sites because, well, in their innocence, bisag unsa ra niya na ilang i-click and they will see or read things that's inappropriate for their age. So you should be cautious. Make sure that your children have time away from screens every day and spend time doing offline activities together. You go out of the beach, you cook, you bake, whatever you wanted to do. You do gardening, watering the plants, etc. Try and ensure that your children do not spend significantly more time than usual on video games. Also karon sa mga kabatan-unan unsa man Roblox. I don't know if you're familiar with Roblox. My nephew is ambot. Mo na mong awayan per me. He is always into Roblox. Mag-purchase of mga things online and stuff like that, no? So we should be mindful of that as well. Kay basin mahook na kay sila ani mga video games. Next slide. Keep in regular contact. Now, if you are an older adult this time, no, this is you and me. Keep in regular contact with loved ones. For example, by telephone, cell phone, email, social media, and all sorts. Or you can do video conferences with your friends, no? Keep regular routines and schedules as much as possible of eating, sleeping, and activities you enjoy. That you usually enjoy. So after work, maybe you go out with your friends. Come on, coffee date ta, no? That's very common sa mga kabatan-unan karon. Ako po, no, I always go out most of the time alone. No, ako ra isa, but I find peace. That's just me, okay? So I always find peace when I'm alone, all by myself, go out, do grocery shopping, visit coffee shops na ako ra isa, no? Wala lang ko'y buhaton, just stare blanking, having my peace while having this sip of hot coffee, okay na kay ko ana niya. Now, learn simple daily physical exercises to do at home and when you are in quarantine as well. So you can maintain your mobility, no? I-flex niyo imong mga muscles, no? Wa man kay ginabuhat usually in the quarantine facility, so mag-exercise na lang ka kay makahatag siya og good hormones sa imuha. Find out how you get practical help if needed, like calling a taxi, having food delivered, or asking for medical care. Make sure you have a 1 month supply of or longer for your regular medicines. Dapat intact, no? I always buy food medicine kinaunay mga gitawag nga maintenance nga medicine. Di gina nato kalimtan dapat. Now, ask family members, friends, or neighbors for support if you need help. Dili ta mauwaw, dili ta iikog mga yugtabang sa tong silingan or anybody nga require for you to be helped, no? Next. Now, if you have a mental health condition, how will you look after yourself? If you are being treated for a mental health condition, make sure that you continue to take your medication as prescribed. Well, anyway, this is not only limited for those persons with mental health condition. Ikaw karon nga naminaw nga naay maintenance nga tambal, do not forget to take your medicines regularly. Do not wait for a time nga atakihon kag heart attack, ma-stroke ka because of the neglect na imong gibuhat for yourself, no? Forgetting to take your maintenance medication. Now, you have a way of restocking your medication. That's why you have an ample amount of supply of medicines. Now, if you are this person with mental health condition, see a mental health specialist. Find out how to continue with that support during this pandemic. Actually, we have a good way, or we have an open communication with other facilities as well, and even to all our local government units in providing medicines and providing health and psychosocial support to all of the population sa ilang mga localities. Now, keep in touch with people who care for you and who you can contact for support if your mental health declines. Now, if you feel like down na gyud kay ka, paingon na ka mag-attack, no, with your condition, you should keep in touch with those people who really care about you, who really loves you, that would give you extra attention, will go the extra mile to take care of you. Okay? Next. Again, if you are a person with a mental health condition, if you are being treated for an alcohol or drug use disorder, be aware Okay, that COVID-19 outbreak, as I said earlier, no, alcohol and drug use should be limited or never at all. You should be aware that the COVID-19 outbreak may lead to increased feeling of fear, anxiety, and isolation that can increase the risks of relapse, substance use, disengagement from treatment, or compliance with treatment regimens. Kay nahadlok naman ka, nabalaka na ka, naguol na ka, you, a person with a mental health condition, maneglect na nimo imong self, no? Because nahadlok na ka, dili na ka mo inom dayon sa imong tambal, wala na nimo maatiman imong kaugalingon. Make sure that you continue to take your medications as prescribed, particularly if you receive treatment with opioid medicines such as methadone or buprenorphine, and that you have a way of obtaining a regular supply of your medication. If you are receiving support through a psychologist or support group, find out how to continue that support during this outbreak. Mangita gyud kag pamaagi how they should support you. Next, now before you can help others, you need to look after yourself. Una pa, you take care of yourself before taking care of others. It's like before you respond, you should know that it is safe first to respond. Because if it's not safe to respond, maybe kamong duha, mauna hinoy madisgrasya. Now, in the same way, look at this one. In the same way that a car needs fuel to drive, you need to look after yourself and keep your tank full. Puna sa imuhang tangke so you can keep going. Helping in the COVID-19 response is a long-distance race, not a sprint. So pay attention daily to your well-being. Tanawa imong kaugalingon. In the next slide, you can see your well-being, the circles of control. Next slide. Okay, the circles of control. Dok, unsa man yung circles of control? Look at the circle. The things that I can control and the things outside of your control. So example, no? The things that I can control, how I respond to others. You have that control. How would you respond to situations? How would you respond to the things that your person or that someone is speaking or talking to you? Na akay control ana. Whether I take a protective measure to prevent the infection or not. Magmas ba ko mo gawas or I don't care at all? That's your control. That's your limitation that is within you. What information I give to others? Will you give the fake news or will you advocate na, huy, mag-inom yun ka ivermectin kay kuan yun ka, effective kay sa ako ang ivermectin. Uy, mag-inom yun ka glingnuan na ako'y baligya o kuan effective ka ayon ni siya kay gikan man sa virus, ang virus kay kag China, so dapat imong tambal gikan pud og China. No? So, you have that control. And you should be mindful of the things that you can control. Because you might give, again, false information. You might hurt the feelings of others because of the things that you just said, the way how you react. No? However, the things outside Nemo that you do not have control of, what? Unsa man? How the government responds. Example, how the government responds to COVID-19. Is it effective? Is it not effective? Is it kulang? Is it not enough? Ang response sa government? No? That way, what is your control there? Your control is how you will react, how you will see things or comment, no, about it. Ay kuwang pa man kaayo ng gibuhat ni Duterte, oy kay wala mi kuan, wala mi naman ang SRA ana. No? These are the things that you have control. Ingon pa gani sa istorya nga, if you do not have something good to say, might as well shut up. No? If the things that comes out from your mouth is not healthy anymore or never healthy at all, shut up. No? Mauna siya imong control sa imong self. You just zip your mouth. And I believe also that's one way of being kind. No? What else? How others act. No? Masuko, di ba? Kung kasabaan ka, how you react, that's how you can control it. Whether someone with COVID-19 will die, mga things sa imong nila. Someone losing their job. Haluoy, kaluoy. Ano nawad ang magkagkuan, tabaho. No? Might as well, kung wala kay encouraging words na masulti, dili na lang ka maistorya, no? So just be kind to yourself and be kind to others na lang in ana siya. What else? The reaction karon. What is a common scenario karon nowadays that the election is fast approaching? What? The BBM versus the Lenny or the Duterte, etc. The situation karon. You will see in the social media na saba kaayo ang mga tao. Tanang mga tao, mga political analyst na ang tanang tao sa Facebook, sa Twitter, no? If you hate the Marcoses, you hate Lenny, etc., the world is full of hate. No? The world is full of hate. And it's very rampant na karon nga madungog nato. So, wala tay control ana nila. What is your control there? No? The more you read it, example, kung ikaw BBM ka, maglagot ka kay mag-post. Samok ba ni mga Lenny supporter? Ibis ga-scroll up lang ka, gabasa, na ana kay attachment, emotional attachment on their post. Yet, wa man sila gibuhat nimo because primarily wa sila kailan nimo. Ikaduha, pakialam nimo kung mo-post sila. Maong din na, no? My post, my account, my rules. Inaana pang igon nila, no? But no, you have a social responsibility in a way that the things that you post, the things that you react there should be somewhat in the context of kindness with legitimacy of information. Mo na siya atong ginatan-aw diha, no? And the things that's going on sa kalibutan karon, so much hate, so much fear, so much anxiety that really affects us so much. Next slide. Other strategies to help you maintain your mental health during the pandemic. What are the strategies na makatabang nimo og nato ko? These are the initiatives of the Department of Health also. Next slide. So if you have friends or family member or anybody, no, who needs someone to talk to, nga stranger, no, because there are times or there are people who really are expressive if the person they are talking to are strangers, right? So these are official strangers na pwede ninyo maistorya. This is our DOH Kumusta Ka hotline. It's open 24/7. If you are depressed, if you have suicidal thoughts, if you have fears, if you have questions, anything, please feel free to contact these numbers, and the members or staff from the non-communicable diseases cluster are free and happy to receive your calls and will talk to you and give you legit information nga imong gikinahanglan. Okay? If you want also to talk to me, pwede ra ko ninyo i-request, no? If you want to talk to Dr. Labitad for that matter. Next slide. Now, the team is, okay, the counseling team of the Department of Health and Rehabilitation Center, or our psychologists from the DOHCRC, these are our partners, are on 12-hour shifting for counseling of clients. If we have scheduling, amo apam na silang i-book. If you will call those numbers that I just presented earlier, no? Now you will see here the calls and text messages or messages that we receive from social media. Makita ninyo, no? Taas-taas, daghan kaayo mig text messages, calls every day. No, since the start of the pandemic, when we established the Kumusta Ka hotline, mo ni siya busy mig panubag, hatag og information ani. So again, feel free. We would be very happy and glad to accept all your calls and text messages. Next slide. Now, this is my favorite in mental health, no? Ang 12S of stress management. Unsa man kining 12S sa stress management? As I was listening to our ARD's message earlier on spirituality, no, that there is God who is in control of everything. There is God who knows everything and He is able to do great things for your life. The first S here is spirituality. No? Mangutana ko, gaampo pa ba mo? Kabaw ba ta mo ampo? How do you express yourself in prayers? How do you say things that's been scaring you, giving you fear, giving you doubts? Not just in the context of the pandemic, but your personal life, your struggles in life, your finances, your emotional attachments, your relationships, your about to be broken relationships, your struggles. No? Do you pray? And this is one of the most, I think, the very important S in the stress management, the spirituality. You should build your connection. You should build your relationship with the Lord, with your creator who created you, who you believe is the one that's in control of your life and the situation surrounding you. No? Diba? Nahimon to explain, uy, ginoo ko, kuan, wa na ko'y sweldo. Lord, taas kay balon sa kurente, no? We have that expression na nahimo na siya natong expression. Yet, looking back, no, at taking this context in a way, no, mudangop gitag tabang sa Ginoo, no? Makapangita gitag tabang sa Ginoo because there is that sovereign being whom you believe is in control with your situation, the pandemic, your sweldo, your unemployment, etc. So you should always look to that, no? Tan-aw na to na siya na aspeto. Kaya para ma-relieve ka, di ba? The more you pray, the more you reconcile yourself with God, the more you talk to Him, the more you express your feelings, your fears to Him, the more ka ma-relieve, di ba? The more that there is peace within you, no? If mag-ampo ta, no, reconnecting, reconciling yourself with your creator is one of the best things that would really alleviate or take away all your stress, moving faith, no, working faith, no, ingon pa sa Bible, um maski sa kadako sa mustard seed nga pagtuo, you can move the mountains, no, you can tell that mountain to move from this place to that place with the size of a mustard seed faith. So tan-aw na nato because the Lord can do great things for your life, for your family, and for your future. No? Next S, self-awareness. You should be aware of yourself, the things that you need, the things that's bothering you, and how you will attack it or how will you resolve it. No? Dapat aware ka sa imong kaugalingon nga mao kini siya ako, mao ni siya ang kapasidad nako. In that way, with all the stressors that you are facing, no, maalibyuhan nimo nga ay inani ang ways nga akong angay buhaton. Amo ni siya dapat ang ako ang buhaton and all sorts. Next S, you have now the spirituality, self-awareness. What else? Scheduling. Dok, anong part man sa stress management and scheduling? Because, unsa man, what is the most common problem for government employees right now? Sige ka late. Mumatag, late na kayo buntag, mumatag alas 7, ang trabaho alas 8, or dapat before 8, naka-time in na ta. No? That has always been a practice of many, or maybe for some, no? Nga dugay mang mata, mang bakod. Dugay mang lihok, hinay kaayo. So, if before dili ka schedule, so might as well you write down the things that you do, the things that you need to accomplish for the day that will make you organize and meet everything that you need to do to accomplish. Kaya para makalma ka, no? Ay, nahuman na ginako sila tanan, no? So a very short period of time or on time nahuman nimo imong mga projects. On time nabuhat nimo imong mga deliverables. On time nabuhat nimo imong letters nga dapat permahan ni boss, no? Kana siya, you organize yourself. Next, siesta. Of course, you always have to take a break sometimes, no? For whole day, galingkod ka sa imong opisina, gatdok-dok sa computer, sa imong laptop. Go out, no? Take a 10-minute break, go out of your office, muginhawa sa kag fresh air, no? Fresh pa bang air dito sa Cagayan de Oro? Well, ginhawa sa gyud ka mo na importante buhi, no? Nahimo na siyang katawan na nato karon. But importante buhi ta. Next one, stretching. Why is stretching important? No? Pag stretch pala nimo, karon galingkod ka na mag-stretch ka ana, di ba there is a good feeling of relief, no? Bugat kay imong likod, imong batang bugat kaayo kay whole day ka galingkod, that will give you a positive expression of yourself kay ang mga muscles imong stretch, no? Releasing the negative energy. Sensation. Unsa man yung sensation? Your senses, no? Touch, no? Ang sense of touch all the more. Nga naman, no? Magkahatag po ni siya relaxation nimo, magpamasahe. Uy, friend, magpamassage ta, friend, no? Maadto ta ditong dapita. Mo na siya, maadto ta. Open na ba ang mga massage karon kay GCQ naman? Yes, open na. Last week nakapamassage ko no kay sakit kay akong mga kalikod-likuran ug akong mga batang, no? Sakit kaayo ug ako ang mga unsa ni? Kaning tiil kay sige lakaw busy kaayo. So I think you need that, no? Sometimes giving yourself a break as well mo na siyang gitawag nato. Rewarding yourself. Next one, sports. Dili tanang tao na sports. Dili tanang tao sporty. But in a way, if you have something else that you can do in a way that to be physically active, no, pwede na siya nimo. It's a way of bonding for you and your children. It's a way also of kuan makapa-relax po sa imuhan, no, kay wala ka gahuna-huna sa angay pa nimong laing buluhaton. Socials. Unsa man ning socials nimo? Interact with friends. Wa pa man tingali videoke karon in public, but maybe pwede ra mag-videoke sa house, no? So you invite some or you limit your friends nga mga negative, no? Dapat negative sila ha, mga asymptomatic, pwede sa inyong house, magkanta-kanta mo dito or whatever bonding. Ang ubang beach resorts karon open na pud sila. So maybe kana siya part of your socials with your friends and colleagues perhaps. Sounds and songs, o kauban na ni sila. Pila na ito na-discuss? Social sounds. 9 na ito na-discuss. 10, speak to me. Now, there's always that one person whom you're comfortable with in expressing yourselves. You can be boldly honest to that one person. Maybe a friend, maybe a boss, maybe a staff of yours. Nga, pag-ausan mo sa imong gibati nga, kapoy kay ko, si kuan ba, na no? So the more you talk to that person, you express yourself, the more ma-alleviate ang imong fear, imong anxiety, because you express all yourselves, all the negative feelings that you have nga na lubong sa imong kasing-kasing, imong kahadlok, imong pagduha-duha, no? And everything that's bothering you. So you should have that one person. Now, if you do not have that one person, the physical person, there is God who listens to you. No, there is God who listens to you. You should never forget that. Stress debriefing. Well, stress debriefing is provided or is given to situations that requires it, like violence, like disasters, armed conflict, etc. No? Maghatag-tag stress debriefing sa mga tao nga involved or affected in these situations. And lastly, I would like to give a review, no? Spirituality, self-awareness, scheduling, siesta, stretching, sensation, sports, socials, sounds and songs, speak to me, stress debriefing, and pang isang dosena ang unsa man, smile, no? Smile gyud ta always. One na siya maghatag og character sa atong nang beauty sa atong face. Every time we see our colleagues, our boss, even our not so close, no, our enemies, kani mga nasuko nato, naglagot nato, or tong kalagutan, no. But again, if you're only too kind, always, no, wala tingali kay kontra, wala tingali masuko nimo, wala negative or ill feelings for you and even you sa imong kaugalingon, no. You should always be kind and have that positive outlook sa atong kinabuhi. And always wear that smile. Because you don't know, mang God, that your smile mo na maka-brighten up sa day sa someone, no? Katong mga single diha, kaway-kaway, no? Sometimes imagination na lang ni nato, smile para mabet, no? Pabet. Nahimo na siyang katawan na lang nato. But it's a good thing, no? Because you are working your muscles, no? There are only few muscles requirement if you smile. But if you frown, all of your muscles, your facial muscles, ang require, no? Nga makuan. Tadapan, Smile lang yun gihapon ta. Okay, those are the 12 S of stress management na atong dapat timan-an. Next slide. We're almost done na, no? So mindful practice. Look at this one. You should only focus on the present moment. Karon, ang today. No, because tomorrow will problem for itself. That's very biblical. Try not to be judgmental about anything you notice. If nakabantay ka nga, kuan kaayo mo sa kasamuan, then ayo siya i-mind, no? Murag minding your own business. Again, that's the only thing that you can control yourself, how you react to things around you. Mo na imong control, wa kay control niya. You cannot just tell him that, "Hoy, shut up," because bati kay imong istorya, no? What tay control ana, whatever the thoughts of that someone is. But your only control is yourself, no? Practice mindful breathing. Inhale, exhale. If gisapot na gyud kay ka, no, think or count 1 to 20 or maybe at least 60 seconds, 1 minute, no, before you react or say something. And the way you react, would it be beneficial? Is it positive? Would it bring good reaction towards the situation? So these are the things that you need to look into, no? So before ka mo react sa situation, pag-ihap sa 1 minute, no, 60 seconds, before ka mo react, mo comment, or if not at all, then might as well shut up, no? Di na lang ka mo react. Kaya para na ay serenity, there is harmony, there is peace within you and amongst you, no? Last is mindful meditation. Meditation. Mindful meditation. So mag-meditate yun ka. Now that's also, I think that's also, I should say, praying, no? Mag-pray yun ka. If you feel so hurt, kasuko, mag-ampo na lang ka, no? Instead na mo react pa ka dito. No, within the 1 minute span that I said that you have to think, rethink, and think again, no? Might as well pray, no? Para naatay kalinaw sa ato ang deep within us. Next slide. Now, this one. Start with some everyday mindfulness. Now, incorporate mindfulness into your everyday routine. Example ni siya, ha? I hope you will do this when you get home later. When you wash the dishes after dinner, manghugas ng plato, kasagaran ani mga mama may gabuhat ani no, hugas plato ang mga mama. Do you usually think about everything you still have to do before you can finally relax? Example, mahugas kasi ka, sus after ani magkuan pa ko, mag-class record pa ko, sus after ani mahugas, magdali ko hugas kay magkuan pa ko, maghimo pa ko sa akong study, ansa ni kaning, what do you call that, kaning kuan, lesson plan, no? Sige pa kag hugas, no? Hulagi kasab-an na ba ko ni ARD kaganina, no? Kung ano nagikuan ni, hulagi patawag ko ni RD, no? All sorts of things like that that's always been bothering you. Now, instead of those things imong hunaon wal nang hugas ka, you try this tonight, okay? When you get home, or maybe karon during lunchtime, you try this. Try focusing only on the washing, no? Washing the dishes. Imong concentration current is just only to wash the dishes. So, as part of your meditation, no? Magwash ra ko og dishes karon, no? Kay gapabuffet si RD, ako'y manghugas. Ingnon akong catering, ako'y manghugas sa mga plato. Start by listening to the sink. Fill up with water. So, i-turn on nimo. I-focus ko nimo attention sa dito ra ka manghugas. So, i-focus nimo sa tubig. No? I-feel ang tubig nga bugnaw or init kaayo. Hello? 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 Sound check.
Yes, Doc. You're loud and clear. You're still, your audio is clear.
Okay. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Na-bother ko kay loading ang ako ang screen.
It's okay,
Okay.
Doc.
Going back. No? Let's go back. Thank you. We're almost done here. But I need you to be mindful of yourself. No? Focusing on the washing lang. Mahugas ka, i-turn on mo ang faucet. I-feel nimo ang tubig. No? Na aga sa imong mga kamot. Be it bugnaw nga water or init nga water ang ga-flow sa faucet, no? Imong gikuan. And try to smell the dishwashing liquid na masimutan ni mga mao gyud baho sa surf. Kisabon man imong surf mao gining baho sa Thai, mao gining baho sa joy. Oh, humot kaayo. Now, when you notice your mind wandering, and it will, bring your attention back to the senses, to your senses. No, what can you see, hear, smell, or feel? No, you focus on the things, the washing. I-feel yun mo tubig. I-feel nimo ang mga mumho nga nabilin sa plato nga imong gihugasan. May makita nimo nga ay limpyo na ang plato. Ay wala na mantika no gikan sa lechon ang kuan, ang plato mainana nimo. So that is one practice that being mindful to your everyday routine in ginabuhat. And even this one, if your focus is only on this mental health forum, you will not be mindful of the things surrounding you because your concentration is here, right? Sakto? So later when you get home, you try to focus on the things that you are doing. Example lang ni ang washing dishes. Pwede po na nimo imong kuan maligo ka, mag-shower. I-feel nimo ang water. Mao gyud imong buhaton, i-feel nimo ang soap. I-feel nimo ang tanan, no? Mao gyud imong buhaton, makahatag na siya og calmness, peace sa imuhang huna-huna ug imuhang gibati. Then later on, aya na din ka magbuhat sa imong lesson plan. Lesson plan na po dahil imong focus, no? Dito ra gyud ka ang imong buhaton. Mag-focus na po ka sa imong class record, no? Dito ra po gadayon imong focus. So, okay? Next slide. Another one, eat snack. Next slide. Oh, in this slide, you're probably wondering how eating a snack can be mindful, di ba? Now, the best place to start is by focusing on what you are eating rather than on the thoughts or maghunahon na kag Netflix o sa imong tan-awon, ana-ana. So, focus lang ka sa imong gikaon. Bahala na nang ga-play ang Netflix diha, no? No. Instead of mindlessly eating that bag of popcorn, example, and then wondering where it all went, take your time and pay attention to every mouthful. Tagabutang nimo sa imong baba sa popcorn, kalami, cheesy kaayo ang popcorn or barbecue, lami kay barbecue flavor gikan sa taters. Now notice the delicious taste as you chew the food. Pwede po dili popcorn, pwede po siya potato fries, no? Imong kanon. Or chocolates, imong kanon, i-feel gid nimo ang chocolates. Maora to imong i-mind, maora to imong tagaan sa imong attention. Now, it helps to put down your phone while you eat too. While ga-eat ka, ayaw sig cellphone, while ka-kaon. No? Kaon na gid imong hunahon. I-feel nimo. Then again, that will really give a good feeling sa imuha as you taste it, as you feel your food, as you concentrate on what you are currently doing. Okay? Buhatan na niyo tanan ha. Later. Next slide. Now, start with some everyday mindfulness. You incorporate mindfulness into your everyday routine. However, you choose to fit mindfulness into your life, hopefully, you will notice improvements in your concentration and in your ability to relax and cope with stressful moments. That's why you should always be mindful of yourself and to the people around you, your environment, every situation surrounding you. No? Again, do not forget to always be kind. And always remember how and what you can control only. Correct? Kay para dili ka maghatag og negative, di maayong impact sa mga tao that surrounding you. If you are RD, ARD, division chief, the heads, no? How you control, how you react to situations, that would really give a definition on the situations in the office or surrounding you. So let us be models of these situations on how we react to things and be mindful of ourselves and of others. Next slide. Okay. I think that's my last presentation for this morning. Again, daghang salamat Department of Education for this chance and opportunity to be speaking in front of all of you. Daghang salamat and God bless everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tristan of DOH CHDNM, for the very comprehensive and complete discussion on mental health reality as well as resilience, especially in times of pandemic. We were actually talking with Ma'am Hannah a while ago and also with our other staffs here in the studio, Doki. We have learned a lot. It's very timely, and others are even asking for your slides so we can also do our advocacies in our schools, school level, because in as much as we would also like to advocate it, we would want to help a lot of our learners, co-employees, co-teachers, and non-teaching staff of DepEd so that we can all cope up with this pandemic and even to our day-to-day health crisis, mental health crisis, so we can move on, we can cope up and be resilient as we would be. So thank you so much, Doc. Please stay with us. We will be giving the certificate of recognition in a while, right after our next guest and visitors this morning. We will also be having the question and answer portion, most common questions, and we'd also be entertaining questions from our viewers in the field. And just for an information to everybody, we are already reaching about 1,567 viewers, and we are cross-posted via DepEd Philippines Facebook page. So we are reaching the national audience, and we are also we are proud for this. And if others could also be reached for this, and if there could be any other concerns and questions, feel free to ask. We might be able to entertain you later. If we still have more time, we'll just pick some of those questions in the comment box of our Facebook Live. So thank you so much for that. And again, hello for the 1,570 viewers now on our Facebook Live. We also have, it's already 1.6, I'm sorry. We also have some viewers in our YouTube of DepEd Region 10. So I guess we have viewers from SDO Lanao del Norte. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Ma'am Han?
All right. Thank you very much, Doc TJ, for that very um, eye opening and mind blowing comprehensive view. All right. So, and now let us listen to a testimony from personal triumphs against depression and suicide. First off, let us have a wondrous sharing from a very resilient registered guidance counselor of Cagayan de Oro City Division in a person of Mom Juvy Importante, RGC. Let us all watch and hear it.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Juvy T Importante. I'm a registered guidance counselor. I'm also a teacher and a mother too. I'm a master teacher too at Limao National High School. Today, I will be sharing my life struggles, my journey in coping up with depression in day-to-day living. First and foremost, it started way back long time ago when I had a problem with marriage, problem with finances. But the worst thing came when my daughter was so sick in 2015. She was fighting over health concerns that we have to fight and ask heaven and earth to give her life. And God did so. I thought it was okay. It was all good. But way back in 2020, February 29 of that, my daughter left earth. God gave him the time to stay in heaven. And I wasn't prepared for that. And it was so painful as a parent because I fought for her to continue living. But she just left me silently. And I was asking her why. Why not me? Why not me? She's young, she's beautiful, she has the good life in things in life to do. She has a good job, she's beautiful, she has her friends. Anyway, in my part, I have reached my goal. I have finished 2 master's degrees, I'm finishing my PhD, I have a good job. But then, the time has changed and I asked God, why? Why not me? And suddenly, A voice tells me, because you have a mission to continue, not yourself, but for your child's sake. To think that I have a son, the younger brother of my daughter, both of them, I raised them with special needs. That's why I studied so hard to finish my special education course, to finish a degree in BS in psychology, to finish master's in special education, to finish guidance and counseling, master's at that, got my registered guidance counseling licenses. But all of this has nothing because she left us quietly and I wasn't prepared and I wanted to go with her thinking that I can bring her back. But it is not. Day to day, I struggle facing life and I ask God, why? Take me with you. There are moments that I would say, I'd rather close my eyes than not to wake up again. What is there living for? Some of my friends, I told them, I would be leaving Earth together with my daughter. What is that? Committing suicide? Probably. There are days that when I go to bed, I will pray to God, I will not wake up. I want to see my child in my dreams. Indeed it is. And she's telling me, Mom, you have a work to do. That's her word. Anyway, I'm just traveling. We'll see each other someday. And that's for real. But that's not how it is. People label me as KSP, pakitang tao, baliw. Most of the time, I have fits of rage, literally. I become so angry in minute details of things. My colleagues, my friends. But God is good. He sent people to guide me through. But then, deep inside my heart, the sadness within me, I just couldn't cope it anymore. Stop breathing is my goal. I have palpitations and I have this time of not eating. I don't like to eat. What is it eating for? I don't have my child. Then this year, I lost my mom on my birthday. But the good thing was I was beside her and still I keep on telling her, Mom, when you see my child, tell her I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I wasn't there. See, even though tears falls, I have to control it because it's not right. Because I have a job. And I'm so lucky enough during the pandemic, I have a job. I have friends. Least did I know that they are real ones. No, not to mention like Dr. Myra suddenly texts me, how are you? How are you today? God is good. Some of my friends tells me, my colleagues tells me, Mom, kaon na. My other friends would tell me, friend, okay ka lang? Do you want to have some coffee? I go along with them, but deep inside me, am I worthy of living? Is this worth it? I ask heaven and earth, why is it like this? God, why? But living on that whys will not end the problem. Then I turn back my thoughts to how God is good for me. Sabi nga, 1 Peter 5:7, cast all your cares upon me, and He will care it for you. In Matthew, He said, why worry about tomorrow? Even the lilies in the field do not worry about their food, the water they drink, the birds in the air don't worry about food. Why would they worry? Indeed, why would they worry? Why would they worry? When the sun rises up every morning and it sets down, the moon comes out, the stars come out, and it's good indeed. Isn't it worth living? And why am I here in front of you telling you this is not the end of the world? This is our mission. Reaching out to you that there is God, there is a work, there are people, there are friends, the real friends at that. And it's not the end of the world. Now I realize my work, my friends, my God was good to me indeed. He gave me opportunities I never thought I would. Who would have thought I would be here in front of you? Would have thought that I would be telling you about my struggle. Daily, every day, I pray, Lord, give me the strength to face the world again. and again. But deep inside my heart, the pain's still there. Grieving is for a lifetime. Grieving for the losses, grieving for the pain that I've been through. But there's always a difference between losing your parent and losing over your child. It must be because a child is different because it's within you. He lives in your heart. It's been part of you. Your parent has their time. My mom was 82 years old. She has the full life. God only gave us up to 70 years old, but God gave her extra more 12 years. And she was happy when she slept to the out of the world. She was so at peace, and I have said my piece. But my child, I go back again and again. I did not say anything. She just left. She did not tell me anything. I wasn't able to tell her how much I love her. But friends told me, you do love her. You gave her extra life after the illness. You extended her life. You exert all effort. God give you people. God connected you to the universe that where they are right now, where you are right now. It's even a miracle I'm sitting here in front of you telling you that this is my story. This is not a joke. If only you knew every morning is a sad morning, every minute is a sad minute. Because when you look around, people have their child and you don't have yours. I have my son. We used to be three, but now we're two. And I pray to God every day, please give me enough strength to feel so that I can assist my son and finish his dreams. And I know my son is also struggling, losing our sister, but we fight through it. Holding up your tears is a strong battle within yourself because you have to be professionally at yourself because there is God. Why do you always keep on going back to my maker? Because that's my role. This is my mission. Our job will pass away, but the goodness of God will always be remain. I hope that you look at heaven and look at the creation of God. Thank you and good morning.
Wow, what an amazing coping mechanism. Very timely and relatable. Thank you so much, Ma'am Juvie, for that. It takes a lot of courage and guts for a personal for a person to share a very personal struggle in life and your triumphs and your ways of coping with it. Thank you so much, and we have learned with it. It's quite sentimental, but very personal, and it's very meaningful. It's very clear to us. Actually, almost all of us have struggles. As I can also relate with that when I've had the chance to listen very well into your sharing. Actually, it's not really all about how much you have achieved in your life with the doctoral degrees, with the masters, because when we are struck with mental health crisis, when we are faced with that, it really tests our coping mechanism, and that does not equate with how highly intellectual are we, because the emotional intelligence is different in such a way that no one is really a master of that. But thank you so much for sharing. And I know everyone else there in the field, among our viewers, are also experiencing the same. But let us all remember that we are not alone in this world, and that trials and problems are just temporary, and we have to be resilient, and we have to feel free to ask help if kailangan, because in fact, DepEd Region 10, especially your health and nutrition family, are always willing to extend our time to talk with you, no matter what the problem is, so that we could also be an advocate for the mental health and wellness of the entire populace of DepEd Region 10. Thank you so much, Ma'am Juvie. And with that, at this point, let us also have another triumph of a mental health challenge and or depression through through a health personnel himself, our very active and talented nurse of the Schools Division Office of Cagayan de Oro City. Let's hear it from Sir Francis Leo Cesar Tagadiad.
I am Nurse Francis. Isa ko ka-nurse sa Division of Cagayan de Oro City. Kita man tanan moagi og kalisod no. Stress, depression, ana murag simple ra kayo ingon nga imo ra ng panguna-una, malikayan ra na nimo, imo ra nang i-divert imong attention. Naa ka sa medical field so kabalo ka sa akong pag-deal sa imong kaugalingon. So dili invulnerable ta dili na siya tinuod. Kay ako pod once niagi po ko even though dili to siya depression, kay mayon ka og depression is 14 days maguna siya consecutive ma-experience nimo. Pero sa kuha days lang gyud to siya, wa siya maabot og 1 week gani. Pero adtong higayon nabuhat nako nga kwaon or magpakamatay, no? So adto nga time feeling nako wala ko'y maduulan, wala ko'y relatives, then sa akong mga relatives is naa sa bukid don. So, ako ra gyud isa ato diri. So, wala ko'y maduulan. Mo to nag-decide kung akwaon. So, good thing na lang pod, naay mga tao adto ug nadala ko sa hospital. So, aton pagmata nako na nako sa hospital, nanay tubo nakataod sa akong ilong since nag-drug overdose man ko. So, para i-neutralize ang toxic effects ako ang lawas. So, after ato nga incident na nakita nako nga grabe gyud kadili maayo akong gibuhat no. Sakitan kog tan-aw sa akong parents nga naghilak tungod sa akong ginabuhat nga murag kung nawala ko unsa kaha sila pod siguro ug sa mga um, love nga ginapakita sa ako ang family sa ako adto support kadto gid importante gid ang support system ana gid para ma-overcome na nimo apil ang mga workmates nako mga relatives nako naapod adto nga time na-realize nako nga kung unsa man kasakit ang akong gibati adto inana unsa man nga problema akong gibati mas bugat pa ang gugma nga ginapakita sa akong ginikanan sa ako ang mga kauban sa trabaho mga friends nga inana. So mao to nga every time nga kung naa gani ko'y problema nga ma-encounter is dili na ko maghunahuna ginana nga mga daotan. Ako na lang ginahuna-huna is para ni sa akong kaugalingon, sa akong kaayuhan, para pod sa ako ang pamilya. Ug naara pod sila permanente para sa ako diha. Ug tungod ana kay naka-survive man ko no 2019 so karon 3 years na. Naa na pod ko sa akong ikatulo nga tuig karon sa pag-eskwela sa Abugasya diha sa Xavier University. So kung nadayunan pa ko adto, dili na ta ko moabot og third year karon no. So unta hinaot lang pud unta nga magbalampuson pud ko mahuman ko ni og mahimo na dayon kong nurse lawyer pohon. So mora to siya. Mayong salamat sa pagpaminaw. Amping mo tanan.
Wow, superb. Thank you so much, Sir Francis. No, tinuod jud nga in every trials naagi mga tulubagon ug naagi mga solusyon. Much to grasp and embrace on the sharing and lessons you imparted to us. So you are simply amazing.
Yes, thank you so much, Sir Francis. That really moved us. It touched us that there is no such thing as there is no solution for a certain problem or undertaking. So thank you for um, shedding light to those who are maybe experiencing darkness in their lives as of the moment. So thank you. It takes a lot of courage to share it to us, your personal experiences, but that meant a lot to us because I know it would help a lot of people who are watching us now. This is actually the very essence why we are doing this activity, the Regional Mental Health Forum. And we are forever grateful and thankful for you too, Ma'am Juvy and Sir Francis, for all your sharing. Please stay with us. We'll give you the certificates of recognition and the tokens in a while. But as of the moment, we will have the question and answer part. As we have pitched a while ago, we will be entertaining questions in the field. Since we have the speakers yet together with us, we still have Doc TJ of DOH. We also have our guest and our invited guest from SDO Cagayan de Oro City through Ma'am Juvy Importante, a registered guidance counselor, and as well as Sir Francis Tagadiad, a nurse from Schools Division Office of Cagayan de Oro City. So here is one question, Doc. While we are waiting for questions in the comment box of our Facebook Live, I guess this is going to be addressed to Doc TJ. Doc TJ, are we still in the line? Are we still in the studio? Doc TJ. Okay, so while waiting for Doc TJ, we might be reading these questions. There are actually questions addressed or to be answered by both DOH and our guests and visitors this morning or other speakers. Just like question on these one. Any advice on how to let go of hurt felt from another person or overcome bitterness? So, can we ask this through Ma'am Juvy? Do we have Ma'am Juvy? Ma'am Juvy on Studio 2, just a very common question though. Taking it from your own personal experience, any words of insights from this on how can we let go of those hurt feelings from another person or overcome bitterness then?
Um, Overcoming.
Or we can also have Sir Francis with this. Sir Franz, can you also share one for this?
Ay, ano lang, Sir Chard, na nag-video ko.
I'm sorry.
Yes, lang. Ay, nag-video call.
Okay, yes, go ahead. Sir Franz. Yes, I guess we're clear now.
Pa-repeat again sa question, Sir Chard.
Yes, Sir Franz. I'd like to repeat the question again. Any advice you might have on how to let go of hurt feelings from another person or overcome bitterness?
Okay, actually, Sir Chard, ang murag, kana yun siya is lisod. Kana siya is murag, dili pa ko siguro ana angay mo advice or karon man gud is napakoy pagka-bitter o maingon pagid ko nga bitter pagid ko or napagid ko ka ng kasuko sa katao no mo siguro tong reason nga nung buhat ba to nga butang so until now is every time nga madumduman nako to ginapangbuhat niya sa ako which is dili gid pud maayo is maulit pa ko ana gid sa chat pero daghan gid pud ang ga-suggest gid pud or gatambag sa ko even akong psychologist gaingon nga let go na lang gyud kana pasayloan na lang gyud siya even though sayon ra gid kay siya ingon pero lisod gyud pero karon is nana ko sa process nga ginahinay-hinay na gid og let go tanan ako mga kaulit compared sa una makadumdum ko ana is murag kanang manggigil ko sa kaulit karon is murag katawan na lang ko ingon lang ako okay dili niya kawal dili na ko kawalan yang kawalan to nganong niya tong gibuhat sa ako inana and what po Sir Chard kung kita man gud kung dili man gud nato dili nato i-let go na ato ra gyapon kaugalingon ang mag-suffer yun so mura taog ka nang gapok-pok tag martilyo sa tong kaugalingon di ba nga dili makata gusto nga masakitan dili makata gusto nga bugat ato ang feelings so dapat let go na lang sa atong mga stressors so dili na to mag-hold og kanang kasuko sa ato ang mga isig katawo or kung natay mga stress nga ma-encounter dili na lang kinato siya kuna-hunahon so mo tong ingon ni Doc TJ kanina no ang katong imong naa sa imuhang circle nga makontrol nimo dito na lang gid ka the way sa pag-react compared sa katong sa outside yun is unsay mga reaction sa mga tao towards sa imuha wala ni pake na mo dili man na sila gapaskwela sa akua dili man na sila gapakahon sa akua so kebs so compared sa katong ato ang makontrol kadto na lang gid siya dito na lang i-limit na lang nato so kung unsa nga mga stress na katong ma-encounter is ana lang gid pod the way na lang gid sa pag-react nato para dili na ma-stress so mo to Sir Chard.
Thank you so much, Sir Francis, for that. So, while I was also listening, yes, I guess this is very common. We all come to a point sometime that we get to be hurt with someone. Of course, we get also to be bitter. So, as what you have mentioned, I guess the key word there also is about time, no? Time heals, and then it's not an easy process. but at least the very most important thing there is that we are coping very well. We are trying to cope up, and that we are seeing the positive light of it. That it will not be permanent. It's just a temporary thing in our lives. So thank you so much for that, Sir Francis. And that actually elucidates for some who seem to be very negative because depende mo gud ang coping sa isa ka tao ba. That is why we call it a crisis because at that time you are really having a hard time to deal with such problems. So thank you, Sir Francis. And moving on, we I guess we have another question here, a very common question, Ma'am Han. I guess we can have this addressed to Doc TJ, ba? A very common question. Yes, Doc TJ. Yes, I guess we have still Doc TJ here. So thank you so much, Doc TJ.
All right, so we have here for Doc TJ. Does DOH does DOH have a functional emergency hotline in the five provinces and nine component cities for mental health and suicide watch directly linked to a health emergency facility or ambulance or 24 police patrol line?
Okay, hello? Madunggan pa ko?
Yes, Doc TJ, very loud and clear.
Hello? Madunggan pa ko?
Yes, Doc, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, maayon ni siya nga question, no? Does DOH have a functional emergency hotline? The one I presented earlier as part of my presentation, that is our official Kamusta Ka hotline. You can call, like I said, pwede ka mo tawag dito, pwede ka mag-discuss dito sa debate, and if you are feeling, if you have suicidal thoughts, pwede ra po ka dito manawag. Actually, the number is open 24/7. And how will we facilitate that? We will focus, if you have those thoughts, no, mga suicidal thoughts, as per assessment sa among staff, you will then be redirected sa ato ang mga partners sa DOHTRC or ato mga clinical psychologist to be counseled sa ato ang mga clinical psychologists from the DOHTRC. If dili na gid makay, actually there are levels, no, leveling nato sa ato ang treatment, or should I say sa MHPSS pyramid nato, no? So if you're in level 3, that's when mabutang na ka sa counseling. If dili gid makaya sa level sa counseling, si counselor will refer you to a psychiatrist na, no, if you are warranted to be given medication already, prescription drugs. So that's how we conduct our response sa mga persons or individuals with any mental health disorder or mental health issues and concerns. So the number that I posted, pwede na to ipakita balik, or in any platform from DepEd, pwede na to ipakita. Then that's open for the whole Region 10. Or actually, we have been receiving calls and text messages from other regions, from Manila, from Cebu, from the Visayas, no, daghan ka pang text o tawag dito. Yet we still entertain them.
Thank you so much, Doc TJ, for that. So that's all very clear for us that we have a help, actually. We have a helpline from DOH, which is very active. We can call anytime. And just to add that advocacy as well, DepEd also is having that. We also have, in fact, it's also being encouraged now that in every events or activities we have, we are really required to promote that mental health and wellness should be our priority. In fact, we also have a helpline in the regional office, and we can actually show or flash the numbers as well later on. So thank you for that, Doc TJ. Here's another question, Doc TJ, for to be personally addressed and answered by your expertise. Would DOH consider mental health conditions as a part of PWD for discounted medicines and other beneficial provisions such as transportation and grocery discounts, Doc?
Actually, we term that as a psychosocial disability, no, as part of under the PWD. Now, if you have psychosocial disability category and naakay koan, naakay PWD card, no, provided by the city, then maka-avail ka of the discounts. That's oh, that's why you register online sa PRPWD nato nga registry. You go you visit city no sa atong city sa city hall nato nata ditoy kuan CSWD pwede ka mag-register dito. So avail of it,
Right.
then makatagan kag card na maka-discount ka nga PWD ka.
Thank you so much, Doc TJ. So that means they have to register first. They of course they have to pre-qualify to be qualified for that for such disability. And then once they have the card, of course they can avail of those services and provisions. Thank you, Doc TJ, for having it clarified. Yes, Ma'am Han, we have another question.
All right, so we also have another question here. So, yes, it is already answered no, from Sir Francis. So, can we also have an input also from Ma'am Juvy? Do you have any advice po on how to let go of hurt felt from another person or overcome bitterness?
Overcoming bitterness, kaya ano siya eh, it's a long process kasi it's an individual feeling, and then it matters how deep was the issue happened to yourself. Like ako kasi malalim ang hugot gani kanang don't tell me immediately na oh forgive ko na ganon. First and foremost, what I'm doing right now is I'm forgiving myself. Una sa nato atong sarili ba kung asa na ka kalayo, no, how far have you been healing to yourself, because ang pain man good caused by other people is para siyang grief without, it's like a loss of your personality, a loss of your confidence, di ba, a loss of your happiness, your joy, gi-rub off na siya sa imo. So that's why we become in pain, you become bitter. So struggle na siya nako up to today, no, every now and then mag-flashback siya, no, but then if I wallow in it, kung ako siyang permi i-accept, ako ang lugi, no? I'm like putting an acid, a vinegar in myself na ang nag-rot ako. So ako na, lason ako siya gi-parking, gi-acknowledge na ko siya na I am angry. There are days if I met that person, napagyapon na akong fits of rage, no? Baka sulti paghihapon ko o masama or pero there are moments nga mo say sorry ko, no? I'm sorry if I've said so because this is my pain. Dapat irespeto. Pero eventually, as the days goes by, little by little na healing, mawala na po siya naturally, no? God has reasons naman eh. I always consider it na lesson to be learned. Ngano ni siya ni abot siya sa ako. What is this trying to tell me? Should I keep living on this? Like, ngano ni ako din ni karon? This is now the reason na dapat matuto ko nga mag-accept sa akong pain, na mag-share ko sa iba na pain is real, but pain also can be healed in every way that you can do. Whether you know how to pray, you have a God, I have my God, I know my God, I know my faith, I have a strength of it, I have real friends. And these friends of yours, you know to whom you can say so. Kay naman sa tayo friends nga friend lang, quote and quote. 'Di ba? Nag-fishing lang and then they use it against you. So try to be mindful of that. Pero long process mamura mo siya og sabi nga nila, better to be hurt physically kay mahil ra ang wound. But when you are being hurt emotionally, psychologically, it takes time to heal, no? Even my physical feature, there's still signs of those pains, no? I even shared it to Doc Myra that the way I look right now is not the same as I was because this is the result of the pain that I had physically, emotionally, and psychologically. Pero, mo lagi, dapat i-acknowledge nimo and forgive yourself. Slowly, you can forgive others. Naka-forgive gani ang Ginoo sa ato Way man daan naman tubag nga, di mo ko Ginoo. Okay, fine. Let's accept that. Pero una sa forgive imong self kay, di ba, how can you change someone else if you are not changed within yourself? Later on, makita din na nimo na, oh, healed na ko ani. Okay na ko ani. Ako, I have that. This a portion in my life now na okay na ko. Pwede na ko makiharap sa ilaha, ako na silang mastorya, masettle na nako among differences. Na pay portion nga hinay-hinay lang, dili siya outright. And it takes a while, pero dili na ko siya kikalimutan. Ako siyang tagaan og time na let go na nako. Kay ako man ang kawawa, dili man siya, ako man. So, ganun din, ikaw, if you are having this, consider, heal yourself, then slowly also try to accept na naapos siya hugot nga nung na-happen to. Ano na lang. That's it. Thank you.
Rejoiner.
Yes, Doc TJ.
Okay. I think in the context of mental health, it should not be the, I mean, we need to rephrase the word there as advice, no? Dili siya dapat advice. Ang atong dapat gamiton niya is kuan, sa ato ang 12S nga itong kaganina, itong speak to me, no? You give that someone with mental health condition, or if not mental health condition, someone in a situation that requires a help, no? Na siya psychosocial need na dapat natong address. Ang right word na to diha is not advice, maybe giving the person options, no, and let that person choose between the options na atong gihatag sa iyaha. And it is very effective in a way nga katong sa 12S of the stress management, katong speak to me, no, the way you express yourself nga given nga ikaw in that very bitter situation, sa paninggiingon nga you feel hurt, and how should you let go nga may inana ang mga butang, no, just by speaking, talking to someone that you trust. And I really appreciate the things that Mom said, no, nga about ang relationship between you, me, or ako as a person, og sa Ginoo, that there should be connection between sa imuha ba, no? If wala kay someone nga kaistorya, physical person, then talk to God, no? Talk to your Creator that will really give you that enormous peace nga imong gikinahanglan, nga ginid or gi-require nimo for yourself nga imong gikinahanglan gyud ni nga kalinaw. And how should I let go about it? Now, if you are that person nga kaistorya sa that someone who's going through something, you do not advise, you give option, no? You do not tell him nga, uy, dapat inani, dapat inana, dapat daily inani. You just give options and let that someone choose between those options kung unsa nga path iyang i-take, no? Do not dictate, just give options and just continue to be with that someone nga nag-require or nag-need sa imong presence nga dapat niyang ika-express iyang kaugalingon, no? Always remember the 12S that I said earlier, no? The speak to me is very relevant to this concern. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Doc TJ, for the rejoinder. Yes, I have actually recalled it in our psychiatric nursing, Doc TJ. Advising is actually non-therapeutic, right? So in our approaches, we actually give them options, we help them. In fact, as the simple listening, we just have to sit down with them and then listen the moment that they're ready to talk. That actually helps a lot already. So thank you for that, Doc. And yes, I'd like to affirm with what Ma'am Juvy have said a while ago when it comes actually to overcoming bitterness or being hurt. Yes, it's a factor when we have forgiven ourselves first and then we forgive others. So yes, my partner, Ma'am Han, anything you would like to add?
Yes, that is really true. The relationship of yourself, of course, the sanity, no? Kailangan talagang na i-maintain yun ang imong personal sanity before, no? And then, of course, kato, speak to me. It is really important to, you can share it also to your friends and your relatives or someone that you can trust on. And of course, the relationship of God, that is really true. I myself is also experience emotional crisis, no, especially in letting go or being hurt or kanang forgiving someone, no. So yun, thank you very much. We have heard so much. This is a very productive and meaningful, no, especially to all our viewers there who are also experiencing mental health crisis. All right, so we also have any questions, no? This is again for Mom Juvie or any of our speakers, no, Sir Francis and Doc TJ. So any practical tip on overcoming sadness from loss of a loved one?
Uh,
So, right.
when
Yes,
I,
Ma'am Juvie, go ahead.
sadness is, up to now, that sadness is within you because like it's the loss of your parent, the loss of your child. Ako, in my event or the way I do it is I keep on looking the good things that we have. Then I look into the good possibility na if she was alive, if they were alive, this what would happen to them and we will be more in a difficult situation. Mas hirapan me. And I'm glad that God took them quietly, painlessly. Yung ana akong mindset, no? My thought. Then I do rituals. Like, I keep on, sindi ako ng candle every day. Like, ako yata kami, mag 1 year na we never stop lighting a candle. Every now and then, naagyod, no? Kana ako. That's how I do it. And then, I do not look at the painful event, the painful situation, but I look into today. I'm looking into the positive result of what had happened. Like, I am glad that God kept her during the pandemic. No, kasi prior man siya sa pandemic, gikuha ni God. No, my daughter passed away February 29, 2020. 2 weeks later, nag-pandemic. And there's a joy in my heart na, ay, salamat, wala siya during the time of pandemic, or else, na-COVID siya, na-cremate siya, I did not have time to mourn, I did not have time to look at her in the last viewing, ganon. And then when my mom passed away, I was there, I was present, and it was ECQ. And during the wake of my mom, only me, my son, and then the friend of my son, the caretaker, and then four of my friends were there. And we look at it like a staycation dito sa funeral parlor, and I'm glad that I still had the time to spend it even in the last physical presence of my mom. So, mutong keep na joy, you know. So, even I am sad that they are there, I thank God every day na, Lord, salamat na they were not being cremated. Na parang I still have the last good picture of them before they left. Even kanang sadness of that person in existence and then they left somewhere, like they transfer for a job, I look at it as a good riddance, no? Na a reason, and there's also a reason for me. That's how I do things so that I will not be wallowing on always on sadness. Kay yun na nga, as I've said, it will not help you. Di ba? Ano ka, bag down ka. So I look at the brighter side of things. Kay sabi ko nga, there's always a sun that rises up and sunset. Meron namang moon, there's a star. So, why God allowed that? No? Ako kasi, I anchor everything to the faith of my Creator. Kay, dili mo ko pwede mag-anchor lagi sa akong friend. Kay, they have families. No? Imong colleagues, nasa na sila ilang sariling hugot. So, therefore, I have one big God who is omnipotent, who is always willing to listen, and there's always one good sound behind my back, behind my ear somewhere that tells me I read my Bible, I read motivational books. It reminds me of the goodness of God. That's how I overcome sadness now, no, at the present time. That's why it doesn't mean because I am depressed, I look ugly. No, dili mi gwapo ni Sir Francis. Ano, you still have to look good, no? For everyone else to believe that there is a goodness against all the sadness. Yun po.
All right. So thank you so much, Mom Juvie. I really feel you because I just lost also my mother last year. So I'm really in the processing. Of course, allow yourself to mourn, allow yourself to grieve, but of course it's really a choice. And of course there's always a brighter side as you mentioned, Mom Juvie. There's always a reason for everything, and there's always to be thankful of, to be grateful of what has God has brought to you, to your life. So trust the process, and of course trust God in all the in all your journey. All right.
Yes, thank you so much, partner, for also sharing your experience. And yes, thank you so much, Ma'am Juvie, for that. I would just like also to add, no, this is about the question was actually for a loss. So the normal process that we have for the grief and loss, setting it aside from the learning that we've had in the medical field or the nurses, we have the dabda, di ba? Sometimes we get to deny the problem, denial, and then after that we get to be anger. We get to be angry. No, anger sometimes can lead us to do the worst things in life. But right after that, we get to slowly, sometimes we bargain pa. No, we bargain nga nung, baylo na lang Lord, ingani na lang. Then after that, then we will have depression. After depression, the last part there is acceptance, and that's very fulfilling. When the moment we have accepted that, that's the time that we've actually moved on, and that life is like that, and we are able to perform again to the fullest of our potentials and our abilities. So thank you for sharing for that, Ma'am Juvie. And here's another question. Before we'll have a question from the field also. I guess this could be best answered by Doc TJ again. Doc TJ, here's a question on um, next slide, please, Ralph. A question on do we have any support group or activity, whether it be online or face to face, locally available for referral of our learners and workers with problems in DepEd Doc?
Okay. So far as you speak, wala tay dili siya common dinhi sa Philippines, no, nga natay mga kanang like what we usually see in movies bitaw sa Amerika, di ba? They have that circle nga mag-istorya sila. So oo, nga mainana wala kaayo taana dinhi sa atoa. But however, giingon nato dinhi nga sorry. But if there are really needs nga kuan, mag-require ka nga kinahanglan express ka sa imong self. Actually, for karon wala pa mapud gyud tay face to face, no. But in some offices or workplaces, like for us, DOH ga conduct mi og amo ang psychosocial processing for our staff, no. Ga facilitated by our partners like the DOH TRC treatment rehab centers because they have the clinical psychologists. Sila ga facilitate sa psychosocial processing for all our DOH personnel. Ongoing me for the whole month of October every TTH. But as for by the way, naatay support group for our drug no persons who use drugs nato nga support group, no, nata present ana, but for our mental health wala pa. We are really trying to innovate or create such or initiate sa kaning mga butanga, but so far for now what we have at hand is ato ang DOH Kamusta Ka hotline, where you can call us anytime. So mao na siya for now, sir, sa
Yes,
DOH
thank you.
part.
Thank you, Doc TJ. So we don't have yet those support groups. As you've mentioned, we have support groups for those who are actually journeying with their recovery in substance abuse or use. But for these cases, but we hope we can have a good partnership with it, Doc TJ, because we'd also like to have our own part on this. Maybe we can have an initiative for us to have this because I know and we know for a fact that we also have a lot of teachers, personnel, and even learners who have triumphantly um, coped up with their challenges in life, their mental health challenges. So, but with that, one thing is for sure that we have a helpline, and that if there is any concern, especially on mental or emotional concerns, they can actually have a talk with your helpline and also with us in DepEd school health section. So I guess we have, do we have questions in the comment box? Okay, so can we just ask for one last final messages maybe from our speakers and our guests and visitors? Actually, a pitch maybe that you can advocate that, especially on our celebration for this forum for a mental health care and as well as resilience, especially that we are still on this pandemic. Doc TJ.
Okay. Um, the best thing that we can do really for to sustain our mental health or our sanity, for if that's the case, no, is you reconnect yourself with your creator. I think that's the bottom line of the things that we have been discussing this day, no. Daghang mga butang nga nahitabo sa atong life, but again ang bottom line ni ana is God is in control sa atong mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga situation. Technicalities on mental health, yes, we can have that. DOH can provide that and all aspects, no? But at the end of the day, it's still between you and your creator who will really face the truth, face the reality of life, no? As you go on, as you push through, as you see each day sa imong kinabuhi. Now, whatever you're going through right now, I mean not understand it, I mean not know anything about it. Ikaw nga naminaw karon, always remember that you have a God who is in control. Okay? And when you need someone, DOH is always open. That's why we have the Kamusta Ka hotline nga pwede niyo tawagan, textan anytime. And ako, if there's a need also for me to be with the Kamusta Ka hotline nga maka-istorya ninyo, then I should be available. Okay? And I think, thank you again. No? All gratitude and thanksgiving to DepEd family. No, I'll call it a family already because we have been coordinating in all of our activities and plans in response to this pandemic, not just for our children, our learners, but to us as frontliners to meet and respond to the needs of our people. Thank you very much and good morning sa ato ang tanan.
All right. So thank you very much, Doc TJ. Indeed, God is in control. And of course, nandito din ang DOH. Kumusta online? All right. So maybe also hear from Mom Juvy and Sir Francis.
Yes, thank you very much also for the opportunity that David has given to us. No, thank you also for the people who are listening and giving up their comments. Uh, Always believe that there is a God who has the reasons why we exist, and acknowledge the goodness of God because we are still healthy, no COVID within us, we are all vaccinated, and we praise God that we still exist and we have a job despite the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Juvie. And now let's have Sir Francis. Any message, Sir Franz?
Okay, thank you sa time ninyong gigahin para sa pagpaminaw sa among diri. I know nga very busy mo sa inyong mga own schedules karon, pero naagi hapon mo diri karon naguban ka namo para maminaw sa among mga tagsa-tagsa nga mga storya sa kinabuhi. Hopefully naamoy mga natun-an o kanang ma-apply pod ni sa inyong mga daily living, mga if in case na may mga problema nga mo encounter, just know nga ayaw og ka nang give up na atay Ginoo, na atay mga loved ones, na atay mga families, relatives, friends nga naa diya always para sa atoa. Ayaw una nga ikaw ra isa. Ayaw og give up sa problema kay kana siya temporary nga na siya. O laban lang gyud.
Thank you so much, Sir Francis. Thank you for those. Those are actually powerful words that you've mentioned. That we will all win this. We are not alone. We are all together with this. So thank you. And at this point in time, Ma'am Han, shall we flash the certificates of recognition for our speakers this morning? Allow us to read the citation. Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Dr. Tristan Jediah Labitad, Regional Mental Health Coordinator, Department of Health, Region 10, for his valuable contribution as resource speaker during the celebration of the 2021 World Mental Health Day and National Mental Health Week on October 27, 2021, presented at DepEd Regional Office 10, Cagayan de Oro City on October 27, 2021. Signed, Dr. Arturo V. Bayocot, CESO 3 Regional Director. In behalf of RD Art and the rest of DepEd family, Dr. Tristan, we thank you very much for all your valuable support and contribution to our mental health program in DepEd and also with our activities in mental health. Thank you so much, Doc, and we are forever grateful for you with that. Allow us to give us our certificate and our token. We will just have it delivered to you maybe, and it will follow right after. Thank you once again, Doc. The same certificate of recognition is awarded to Ma'am Juvy T. Importante, RGC, as resource speaker during the celebration of 2021 World Mental Health Day and National Mental Health Week on October 27, 2021. Presented at DepEd Regional Office 10, Cagayan de Oro City on October 27, 2021. Signed, Director Arturo B. Bayocot, CESO 3.
Alright, same citation. Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Francis Leo Cesar Tagadiad for his valuable contribution on as resource speaker during the celebration of the 2021 World Mental Health Day and National Mental Health Week on October 27, 2021. Presented at DepEd Regional Office 10, Cagayan de Oro City on October 27, 2021. Signed by our Regional Director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayocot, CESO 3.
All right, thank you so much. And that actually, in full recognition and in behalf of DepEd Region 10, we'd like to thank again all of our three speakers for this morning for this activity, the Regional Mental Health Forum of DepEd Region 10. Once again, thank you so much, Dr. Stan, Mom Juvie, and Sir Francis. And shall we have some greetings first before we'll have to finally close this activity? We are actually still with 1,000 plus viewers from the field, and our Facebook page in DepEd Region 10 is cross-posted via DepEd Philippines Facebook page. So we have, of course, still watching from Ozami City Division, Ma'am Katarina. And then we have Ma'am Magnolia Oy Senerpida. Very informative and it helps a lot. Thank you so much, Ma'am Magnolia, for that compliment.
Yes, we also have from Lute Silverio. Good morning, watching here from Mambuaya Elementary School. All right, so hello from Mambuaya Elementary School.
Yes, and another one from Ma'am City Abanto, watching from Dibarusan Primary School, Pantar District Division of Lanao del Norte. So we have actually reached the entire provinces and cities of Region 10.
All right, so we also have from RJ Lu Timtem Rico. Good morning, watching from Bocator Elementary School, Division of Tangub City. All right.
Right, and one last more. We have from Sir Ronel Ray de Lima. Thank you, ma'am, so words of wisdom. So, of course, we are also thankful for all you who have stayed with us this morning to fully attend and join us and learn a lot through our regional mental health forum. And now, at this juncture, may we call in our very energetic Medical Officer 4 of DepEd Region 10, Dr. Myra G. Yee, to give us her closing remarks.
Now, to close this morning's very successful mental health forum, allow me to share from C.S. Lewis a quote which says, mental pain is less dramatic than physical pain. But it is more common and also more hard to bear. The frequent attempt to conceal mental pain increases the burden. It is easier to say, my tooth is aching, than to say that my heart is broken. So, indeed, mental health awareness, which we are celebrating every month of October, is vital first step, no, in ensuring that mental health care goes to everyone, no, mental health care for all, care for self, and care for others. And to know that it is okay sometimes to be not okay, that we do not need to deny, to minimize, or rationalize every problem, but to face them. Indeed, is the first step to achieving healing. So actually, when you say mental health care, what I can take from all of the sharing that we have this morning is that naagit to look very important ABC and mental health care. And that is the first one, the awareness. So we are very grateful for the sharing of our experts from the Department of Health, Dr. Tristan Labitad, and likewise the experiences of Ma'am Juvy Importante and Sir Leo Francis Tagadiad. No, we are able to experience a lot of information to be able to be aware that mental health problems actually happens to everyone, can happen to anyone at any level of age or profession. And the second from A is the B, which is very important para sa mental health care of all of us, and that is none other than balance, no? So importante kayo ang self-care, balancing work and life balance. Not just balancing work and life, but balancing the whole person, because we are a tripartite being. So we're not just body, we're also mind. And we are also a spirit. And that is why very important that we not only take care of our professional life, but likewise we also take care of our married life, family life, and most importantly, our spiritual life, because it is a cement that binds all other life all together and make us more resilient. So, in fact, no, in the Bible, gani, we notice na prescription to Psalms 23, which I can quote, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. So nag-prescribe ang Psalms 23, the word of God, that we need to actually find rest. We need also to find refreshment. And we need to be restored. And that is why I'd like to congratulate everyone and to thank the entire team sa Health and Nutrition section ng atong amazing mga what you call this, MCs and Masters of Ceremony, and our IT, and the entire team that is helping us this morning for this very fruitful morning. And let us not forget the theme of our Mental Health Month and Mental Health Week, and that is mental health care for all, care for self, and care for others. Let's make it a reality, our own reality. Thank you, and maayong udto sa atong tanan. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maya Yi, for that very heartwarming message. No, sama-sama po tayong pagsulong ng Kalidad, mental health care for all. So indeed, it is truly okay sa DepEd. So before we come to close, no, may we request our dearest participants. We have here in Studio 2. I think Doc J is still here. And of course, we are encouraging all the viewers, our live viewers, 1,500 viewers here in our FB page and to our YouTube, to please also take a screenshot, no, of yourselves to advocate mental health care for all. Let's make it a reality. So hashtag mental health care for all, hashtag let's make it a reality, no? Because this is really important to advocate mental health care for all. So Put a hashtag on your screenshot or make a selfie together with us, not to share this campaign and advocacy for mental health care for all. All right, so let's make this happen. Let's take a picture. Studio
At
2,
our
Doc
count, you can
J.
actually have your screenshot on your end.
All right.
At my count to three, let's have okay sa DepEd. 1, 2, 3, okay sa DepEd. Doc Mai would like to join. So we'll wait for Doc Mai so we can have our picture. So we'd like to invite our viewers as well to join with us. Yes, Doc Mai,
Yes,
there
all
you go.
right.
Doc Mai is there. So 1, 2, 3, okay sa DepEd. Thank you so much. All right, thank you.
All
So
right.
this marks the end but a great beginning of celebrating the very essence of school mental health program. We would like to thank the regional mental health program creative team who have organized our activity this morning, led by Dr. Myra G. Yee. Also, with the great support of our ICT personnel. Thank you so much po.
Daghang salamat sa atong mga participants for joining us today. Sama-sama po tayo sa pagsulong ng edukalidad. It is truly okay sa DepEd. It's a great honor to be part of this moment's celebration. Again, this is your Master of Ceremony, Hannah Lizelle Ratonil.
And Chard Dragon, it was a pleasure to be your MCs this morning. Stay safe and God bless us all. Good morning. Thank you so much, Doc Tristan, Ma'am Juvy, and Sir Francis.